Hi Sagittarius, this is your general tarot reading for Sagittarius Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of August. So, did you enjoy all that peaceful time at the end of July where everything was relaxed and there was no drama and everybody was just happy and calm? Well, if you did, you're the only one because that lunar eclipse at the end of the month was nuts. Really, it was like intense. It was weird and it was stressful, and you're not the only one who felt it, Sagittarius. Everybody felt it in different ways. But how did you feel it? It was in your third house. So you might have, let's say a few things. Very like Pisces. Pisces had a similar thing where you may have been on the internet, on social media, or just having random conversations with somebody on group chat or whatever, and you may have heard kind of nonsense gossip or nonsense and ridiculous, I think we touched on this a bit last month, ridiculous conversations, ridiculous activities, people making mess after mess after mess, and there was a moment where you would have probably tried to go in and be a mediator, make peace, try to get everybody talking again. And you just realise that that's where drama is. It's just a mess, it's chaos in there with all their nonsense talk and all the ridiculous things that you may have discovered about other people, possibly siblings, brothers, sisters, possibly neighbours, or just acquaintances, clients also. With Mercury retrograding there for some of you too, who are working in an office, in sales for example, it could have been insane trying to get paperwork together, trying to get people to answer your phone calls, trying to get people to follow the way it should be done, where you want to take, you want to go up to these people and say, look, these are the rules, this is how it's done, stop making a mess of it. Yeah, people were making a mess of communication. People were making a mess of getting their shit together. And it did stress you out. I know I'm laughing it off, but it did stress you out. There's no doubt about that. And there is that moment where you do finally get to a point where you say, I am just going to step a million miles away from all of this nonsense. And you get a chance to laugh it off, because you see, it's just a big comedy, a comedy of errors. It's a disaster, but it's funny, and you do eventually arrive at that point, Sagittarius, where you just say, oh my God, keep all your gossip, keep all your nonsense, keep all your drama. I'm out of here, and you laugh as you go. Certainly, the third house also would suggest that there would have been very highly emotional communications between you and another person that now finally gets to come to an end. You don't have to be piggy in the middle between gossips, between people who just can't communicate. Maybe in the family, if everybody's fighting with each other or everybody's making a mess and you're in the middle trying to get them all to talk or get it all to function properly, you're just saying, that was a waste of time, I'm not doing that again. Yeah, off you go, you know, wallow in your own ridiculous conversations, wallow in your own mess. Not me, I'm out of here. The third house also, it could spell a moment where a lot of very high activity in your mind, where you couldn't relax a lot, maybe you couldn't sleep very well, maybe you had a persistent thought in your mind, worried about what, possibly money, or possibly groups of friends, or something on the internet, social media too. But there was worry, maybe about how you come across your friends, or like I said, worry about your finances. And it seems that leaves somehow. You're not so concerned anymore as we go through August with the things that had been stuck and playing over and over on a loop like a record stuck on a groove. And you said, Well, I'm just taking the needle off that record, I'm out. So it's a very positive thing. And where will you go with the Sun in the 9th house, Mercury retrograding in the 9th house? It might be a time for you to go back and revisit some place that gives you calm, some place that gives you peace. It could be a foreign holiday, or it could be going back and taking out some old books or some old things that used to give you some pleasure. It's like there was so much activity in keeping up with fast-paced communication, or trying to keep up with somebody who's maybe lying, and their communication is a bit deceptive. And there's a moment now where you're saying, I want to go back to something purer, something that has more wisdom. Maybe you have seen somebody that you may have trusted as being a wise person, and you've seen something in them that makes you now believe they're not that smart after all. They don't really know the answer to everything, and I thought they did. And there's a moment where you want to retreat and find out these answers again, find out how to get back to the source of truth, how to get back to the source of relaxation, how to get back to the source of your happiness. Foreign people, foreign cultures, very out there ideas, very out there, fringe ideas, and exploring them could really help you in some way to almost clean your mind of this small-minded thinking. Small-minded thinking, yeah. You don't want to be involved with small-minded thinking. It's only people now who can think on a big scale. It's only people now who can educate your mind, feed your mind, that you're interested in. And like I said, it could be a really great time to take a break if you can. Just take a break to go out and unplug a little bit from the internet. Unplug your telephone. Just step away from all that high tension in your communication and relax, hopefully in nature. So the sun is shining there on the 9th house, and there may be, for some of you, a point where you realize that you may have, I don't know, you may have started to study something and you stopped. You may have at one point been very engrossed in learning, and for some reason or other, possibly because you had other things on your mind, or it could have been because, I don't know, something to do with money. Maybe education was getting quite expensive for you, but it seems that you had cut your education short, or you had stopped before you fully understood something, and it's probably time to go back. Time to go back and relearn something. Get an accreditation for something. Maybe even just do a night class, a night course. Learn again how to do something, and do it in a way where you do get, the certificate at the end to say that you're qualified at what you do. So it's a good time for study, yeah. It's a good time for study and to take your mind out of small-minded thinking, small-minded people. So let's go on. We do have a partial solar eclipse, new moon there in Leo in the 9th house. So yeah, some of you could find somebody very new and very interesting, possibly on the internet, who has these wonderful, expansive ideas, who teaches you something new, and you're very, very keen to learn more. So that's a really nice thing. But in general, the new moon around the 11th of August is all about starting again, to go back, be re-educated, and to share the things that you know with other people. This is a process where you begin to trust the things that you already know, and maybe go out there and teach it. Maybe go out there and just share it, and maybe make some money from it. We did touch on this a little bit before. There is something that you are knowledgeable about, but it seems one of the biggest two of the fears you had was that the skills that you had, that that you felt that they weren't quite up to scratch. They were good, but they needed just that little bit extra. So you're learning those little missing gaps in the skills that you have in order for you to go out and make money. You're filling in the gaps by education. Yeah, education could really bring in more money. I know that we often talk about you now really taking money seriously, and you're getting more and more convinced as the month goes on, and certainly mid-month, you're getting more and more sure that you have to either travel to earn more money or else go back to school and get some more letters after your name so that you are, I don't know, an approved or a qualified person. I know sometimes we do need those things. I mean, you might know more than everybody else, and I believe you would, Sagittarius, but sometimes that shit means nothing unless you have that piece of paper, and that piece of paper costs money. I know, this is how the world works. It's pity, but it does. Now, what else have we got going on? We have Venus moving into Libra around the 6th of August into your 11th house. Now, Venus she's very active there for you, 7th, 8th, 9th. So you might really either meet somebody on the internet or become very, very inspired by somebody on the internet. I hope it's me. Only joking. I think Venus is more about love. Venus, you could meet a friend, a soul connection between you and another person that's like a soul friend. And you get very involved with them and you get a lot of, I don't know, you feel good being around them and you get a lot of energy, positive energy from them. And this friend that you have a very, very, very good soul connection with could open things up for you for your finances. Maybe they could show you an online course, a source of education online, or they could show you how to make money on the internet. Not bad, not bad. Or they could certainly show you how to open up to a larger group of people. If you do have this skill or this talent, it seems to be time now, Sagittarius, to open it up to a much larger group of people. Open it up maybe to foreign people, foreign cultures. I know we did touch on this last month, but as I say, the energies don't kind of stop and start at the beginning and end of every month. They bleed a little bit in and out of every month. So it's a theme that seems to be continuing for you this month, Sagittarius, that there's a connection between your education and the internet and a very good friend who can open something up for you. And like I said, perhaps show you a new way to bring your wisdom out onto the internet. You could be opening a blog, starting a blog, or doing a little something that makes money on the internet, selling something. Either way, it's very positive. Now, let's see what else do we have going on. There's something nice happening, Uranus retrograding in the 6th house and Mars retrograding as he enters into Capricorn in the 2nd house. Now, some of you had been worried about finding money to pay for something to do with your health. That might improve around the 7th, 8th, 9th, around the 13th maybe of August. That there is this moment where you get a chance to be less stressed out about how you're going to pay for maybe something that in your health that needs a little bit of attention. So there's something nice that happens there. You might have to go back a little bit and have a rethink, but you seem to come to some sort of a solution there. And certainly there is that moment where mid-month you really super get organized about your finances. You totally revise how you approach your money, and you might see patterns, something that you may not have seen before, that there's a kind, you may think you're organized with your finances and you may have a little structure in place, but it's time to clear that out, go back and review it so that you might see where money has been drained a little bit from you, or where money isn't working for you. And it's a bit of a moment going, wow, okay, I didn't notice that before, but I can make my money work. You're making your money work for you this month. Some of you, if any of you are involved in the health industry, there is something positive there where you make money work, something health money, something works for you there. I don't know, you don't know what that is. These are future projections. I'm only trying to help you out when the energy comes. Just know that it'll have a nice resolution, whatever that is. The sun goes into Virgo on the 23rd of August into your 10th house of career, of the place where you stand out there in the spotlight. And there is an element here, definitely, an element of you taking something that you're very good at, that you're wise at, a moment where you realize that you're more skilled than you thought you were, and making money from it, including that in your career. Sure, you might still keep the job you're in, but you might run parallel with something. You have a wisdom, maybe you want to publish something, as I said, start a blog, open it out, spread it out, share your wisdom, and that brings you in some success and possibly some money, or you might begin to see that happen. So it's very positive. Something very nice is happening for your career. Those who are unemployed or those who are retired, 10th house also means standing out and being respected, standing out and being seen, where key figures admire the work or the things, whatever it is that you're doing, and you get maybe an applause. And around the 23rd of August, you'll see that you get a well done. Key people, key figures will admire the work you're doing. So that's really nice. Now, the cards are very slow, Sagittarius. I may have to choose the cards, if you don't mind, because we could be waiting a while. As much as I love talking to you, my love, it's, 17 minutes, and there's only, 6 cards. Okay, here's another one. After this, I'll just do one more shuffle, and I will choose for you. I'll choose for you. Da, 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 da. Okay, so we have the Moon. We have the Empress. We have this card. We have the 10 of Pentacles. And we have the 2 of Cups. See, I did pick nice cards for you. See? I do always only want the best for you, my love. So, at this point, hopefully, you are seeing the big overview so you can follow along with the cards. Now, we begin with you. Okay. Something has happened within this lunar eclipse where you feel that maybe trusting another person's communication, maybe trusting the words that other people said, all the things we spoke about, getting so involved with trying to keep up with information, trying to keep up with everybody, you recognized maybe untruths, or maybe somebody who doesn't have a lot of substance behind the things that they're saying. You recognize it, and it does stress you out. It does make you feel, excuse me, that being so involved with these dramas and communications with other people, that it made you feel bad, that it made you feel that it was bringing you down. Yeah, really, some of you could have felt that people were bringing you. Now, I'm not saying this, don't panic, but you may have felt that other people were bringing you bad luck. That the words that somebody was saying, or the people you were dealing with, the communications that you were having, just seemed to be bad luck after bad luck after bad luck. And you recognize it, thank God, at least you recognize it. And you're saying, I've got to step away from this. I've got to get out of the shallow end of the pool and go a little bit deeper, swim in deeper oceans. And the reason why people swim in the shallow end of the pool is because they can't handle the depths. You can. You're very able to handle the depths of conversation, the depths of wisdom, the depths of going further in your mind, the adventure of life, the going further and out there, dealing with broad ranges of people. And it seems that a kind of a bad vibe came when you did get involved with those who can only stay in the shallow end. And you're now turning that around. You're saying, no, my luck is coming back. Sagittarius, you're a lucky sign. You're a lucky person. And you're probably saying for a long time, how did my luck turn so bad? Now you know everything we spoke about. It's certain people, possibly the bickering between brothers and sisters, or the bickering between small-minded people, that gave you a nastiness that brought your energy down, and you're saying, I'm turning that around and I'm starting again, and I'm going to have a real long look and investigate what's going on. I mean, this card comes before the card of real hard work, the moment where you really sit down and get working on a project that absolutely brings you in money and brings you in a sense of purpose in your life. So you're just on the cusp of that. You're just about to step in to really discovering where you're going in your life. And before you can enter that, you must first have this moment of sensing that you are secure in the things that you know, secure in yourself, and that you have the ability to weed out a little bit the good from the bad, maybe with people, maybe with communications, weeding them out. Weeding out lies, weeding out stuff that doesn't fit into your big picture, nonsense stuff. And this is the energy of you being like the farmer, taking care of the crop, weeding it and watering it before it's able to blossom. And you recognize that your luck will turn for the better. And I don't like saying luck, the bad luck, good luck, because I'm not so sure about that type of energy, but it's more like a feeling that you have where others may have brought you down to such a point that it may look very like they were bringing you bad luck. But like I said, you're fixing that. And there is a sense of re-engaging with the beauty of your own soul, re-engaging with your purpose, and never allowing that to be knocked out of balance again. And in doing that, you get this kind of sense of victory. And here is a card of mini victories, being rewarded, being acknowledged for the work that you're doing, and then going to the next level and defending it. Okay, there's a thing here of when you step away from this small-mindedness, and you could have been very shocked by how small-minded some people are. You're stepping away and you see that your value, it's the wisdom that you have and the passion that you have for the things that you do is worth more than you gave it credit for, as I said. And you're going to defend that. You're going to defend your beliefs again. You're going to defend yourself again. You're going to take the higher moral ground. As I'm talking here, I can feel a scenario. I can feel a situation. It's almost like somebody had convinced you that everything you did was bullshit. And you almost bought into it. In fact, you really could have bought into it. And you now get a chance after the lunar eclipse coming through August to say, oh my God, I can laugh at this, because in the end, I have the higher moral ground. I have the higher wisdom. I actually do know more than those other people who tried to convince me that I knew nothing. I know lots. I'm very good at what I do. I'm very skilled at what I do. And I'm not going to doubt that again. And there comes the victory and the recognition. Certainly something, when you arrive at this point at the start of August, you feel that you can celebrate something. I'm going to say this. There is an element of, when you're laughing at the absolute comedy of other people now, there's a sense of feeling validated, a sense of feeling, I knew I was right. I knew I was smarter than they gave me credit for. I knew my ideas weren't ridiculous. I knew it. And you feel the victory there, and you're holding your ground, as I said. Holding the higher moral ground and not allowing yourself to go back into that ridiculous comedy of a drama of people who are just small-minded. Look at this. Once you come to this realization, Sagittarius, you're handed, you're handed new energy, new passion, and new purpose, and new money. So this is why I did spend what it's now 25 minutes kind of focusing on all of that, because it's very important. It's much more important than you have probably given it credit for. It's this big turnaround for you, and it's very, very key for you this month to realize that you're not as small as the other people may have led you to believe, that you are smarter, and that you should really go with that now, trust it and defend it. Defend the higher moral ground. And when you do that, it's very important for you. I mean, only you might understand this, Sagittarius. When you do that, here comes God. With one hand, he's handing you new life, new passion, a new connection with people. Like I said, I don't know about meeting a soul love this month for those who are looking for love, but I certainly think you're making a very strong, powerful and passionate connection with somebody who is maybe of a higher status, higher quality than those small-minded people. You're looking up. You're standing in your secure place in the 9th house, the house of the gods, and you're even looking further out to people who have achieved a great level of wisdom. And you're really connecting with them. And this seems to be your sole purpose, to look up now to people whose wisdom is so pure, who are really qualified in what they do, who are masters, professors, the real deal. This is it. It's the ability now to spot the phonies and the fakes from the real deal, and you are just now focused on the real deal and educating yourself from them, learning from them, and not taking any more shit from small-minded people. This coupling here could also mean that you find a new passion in your life that brings in money. And I did say to you, around the 23rd of August, your career kicks off. Around the 13th of August, you're getting serious about your money, making it healthier. And there's some project you're getting very serious about, and it will bring in the money. And as I said to you before, I said it to you last month too, it could begin as a little hobby or as a little side, little thing that brings in, I don't know, it's like it's starting, it's beginning, building up your name, building up your reputation through your wisdom, and it brings in money. Could some of you be invited, I think perhaps this month, to travel, to share your wisdom? Or when you are traveling, when you do meet people from foreign cultures, that you'll just happen to say, oh yeah, I know that, blah, 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 blah. And they'll say, oh, what you know is worth gold. What you know is very important. Can you help here? Can you maybe, it's like a network of people saying, what you have is worth something. Can we meet up? Can we hook up? Would you like to come and help out here? Would you like to do what you do best here? It's a broadening and opening out into a new network of people who have a much better perspective on your knowledge. They're not small, they're not cheap, they're large and expansive. I mean, I hope you do know where I'm going with this. As the month unfolds, I think you will. And here you are. Unpredictability, sitting beside the master of money and the master of soul purpose. Mid-month, there will be a point where you do have a real big decision to make. Are you going to be thrown off all over again and be sucked back into the small-minded people, into their little mini dramas, into their little schemes, into their gossip, into their nightmare? Are you going to allow that to happen and lose your throne again, lose your credibility, lose your security, go back to that period of, oh my God, I can't think. Or are you going to learn from this moon and take wisdom from it and channel the energies that we've just spoken about and allow that give you back your security? Allow it to see the difference between the small-mindedness that's been happening and your ability to hold the higher moral ground. Are you going to learn from this? Because I think if you really learn the lesson of the moon this month, you could find yourself far more secure and in a position where your luck turns and you make more money. Yeah, you make more money. There's a full moon at the end of the month on the 26th of August in your 4th house, all to do with home, family, security, like this guy. If the kind of small-mindedness or gossip or all that stuff was within your home, your family, brothers, sisters in particular, learn from this that you never get so unsettled by their behaviour ever again. Hold your ground and keep the moral higher ground. And this is a huge lesson for you this month. The moon can always bring out the shady side to people, always. And the trick here is for you to be more objective, more impartial, to see the truth as it is, even though the moon can be a bit hidden. Yeah, to see the truth as it is. I think certainly mid-month you're going to get a double whammy. You're going to again see more truth. Again, possibly exposed by a friend or some communication on social media or on the internet. And you're going to learn further truths. And these truths seem to again give you that choice of, well, baby, did you learn? Are you going to fall back and fall to pieces again and lose all your sense of inner security? Or are you going to be the master of that? You're much wiser. You're much smarter. In terms of finances, really, something is happening, possibly around the 13th of August, where you see a real turnaround, possibly even a shocking and sudden turnaround in your finances for the better. Could be an opportunity to make money that comes in for you. If you have your own business and it's been kind of ticking along, or if the communication has been weird and people haven't been playing the game and blah, 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 cancelling appointments or whatever, there's a moment where something really turns around and you say, no, this is the way it's done. Play it or get the hell away. It's you getting more control over your finances, more control over how it moves, being the boss, and kind of being an authority. I can't say this word, Mercury retrograde, authoritarian with your finances, that I'm more in control. And that's a wonderful thing to happen for you around the 13th. Get very much in control. I was going to say something there. I'm feeling, I don't know what it is. There is a huge energy this month of you really tackling your finances and making them healthier, and tackling anybody who dares to challenge your ability to make money. Somebody challenging you financially and you're holding your higher moral ground. Somebody trying to get money from you, or Oh, I don't know why this is popping in. Family member perhaps who's doing something very shady with money, and you're stepping 100 miles away from that, holding the higher moral ground and saying, don't come near me, don't pollute my world with your shady and dodgy dealings with money. Where did that come from? This card, as I'm holding it, it's almost the energy, Sagittarius, of you saying, you know where you want to put a sign on your door or on your gate, you know the beware of dog? It's you saying now, beware of Sag, trespassers be warned, Sag may bite. Yeah, Sag may bite this month. Biting somebody who's doing something quite shady financially. I know it's not you, but it's somebody close to you, and you're really making a huge effort to separate yourself between somebody who's doing something very dodgy financially. And again, this card, Venus in Libra, yes, on the 6th of August, this is Venus in Libra, or sometimes Venus in Taurus, in the 11th house. There is energy through a friend that can help you heal a broken heart. Okay, I was going one direction and it's pulling me back to another direction. Okay. To get over a heartbreak, it seems this month, you need your friends. You need, this is like Saturn saying, take your heart far more seriously than you're taking it. Take your heart away from somebody. Take your heart away from possibly a Libra or a Taurus. Or take the hurt out of somebody that you would have seen maybe as the embodiment of love, or the embodiment of, seduction, the embodiment of a kind of wisdom. These are not superficial cards, and I'm really trying to give you that depth with these cards, Sagittarius, because it seems that there is a lot going on for you, and I'm trying not to just skim over it and give you basic meanings. There is something here. There is you taking it more seriously, pulling your energy away from somebody that you once really loved in order to heal your heart, and you're taking it seriously. And part of that healing comes from stepping away from all the small-minded people, small-minded thinking, and re-engaging with a higher truth and with a better quality of person. Yeah, I'm not so sure if we should say better quality of person, but all people have wonderful qualities, but there is at some point a moment where you start to weed out, I hate saying this, but low quality people from high quality people. You'll interpret that as however you feel that, but you're looking for love now to be of a much higher standard, and you're looking for guidance from people who have a much higher quality. And friends, certainly something to do with the beauty of a very soul connection with a friend can bring the beauty back in you that helps you heal a broken heart. Helps you heal. And I did say before that you were holding the higher moral ground, standing your ground, holding ground, staying solid and secure in the face of sudden dramas and things that are unexpected. And again, it's the energy here of holding your ground, sitting strong, sitting on your throne, saying, I am in control of this. You won't hurt me anymore. Has somebody been persistently hurting you, Sagittarius? Even if the relationship has been finished, there's something that needs to be healed, and it's time. This is a card of reaping the benefits, harvest time, allowing something to grow and blossom. And I think taking your healing seriously, healing your heart, healing old wounds. It's now time. It's harvest time to call that up, to see if you really did a good job at weeding your garden. Did you do a good job? Yeah, maybe it is that as you're weeding the garden, as things are bearing fruit for you, one thing that arrives up from the earth, that grows up, is a kind of a memory recall of how you were hurt. Wow, Sagittarius, you're really making me work on these cards, because now that you've entered your house, the 9th house of higher ideals, higher wisdom, and now taking that and looking even further, it's this essence of let's talk deeper, let's talk on a more abstract level even perhaps, let's talk big. Tired of the small-mindedness, tired of the small meanings in tarot cards. Let's talk big. And we're doing it. Now we're coming to the last here. This is you again, a wonderful card of feeling that you fulfilled some great big karmic shift, a quantum shift in terms of your security and finances by the end of the month. And it's a connection with somebody. I could say love, a love connection, because this sometimes is a soulmate card, but I'm not feeling it, Sagittarius. What I'm feeling is more of a real strong bonded connection with somebody who you would see as wiser than you, somebody that you can look up to, a very solid and trustworthy, substantial person who you now align yourself with, who you now bond with. You could be making a very good soul connection with a friend. And they could be the ones helping you heal this brokenness inside you. I wrote broken heart, but just a sense of brokenness. And they give you back this wonderful sense of security and remind you of how far you have come. This is a card that's sometimes to do with confidence. Confidence again in your purpose. Confidence again to go out there and make money. Confidence to be able to approach your family again with a steadier sense of security, where you're not playing maybe some family political games. And you feel more connected to yourself too at the end. Yeah, okay, yeah. The last card is just feeling more connected. Feeling that you've taken the healing that has been offered by the Empress, by Venus in Libra, by being cooler and calmer and trusting this new person that you've made a soul connection with to help you with that. And you feel more reconnected to yourself, reconnected to your purpose, reconnected to your life in general. Sagittarius, I'm going to have to leave it at that. This was a long reading, and like I said, you made me work. There are very, very deep issues coming up for you that ultimately bring you to a point where you expand, where you open, and where you are ready to travel. Travel in your mind, travel in your worldview, travel in your education, just opening up your world big time and reclaiming your sense of inner confidence and inner security. So it's a lot of work. Possibly a lot of it will be very subtle, but very rewarding. 43 minutes, almost 44 minutes, Sagittarius. I will leave it at there. If this has been the first time seeing my videos, then please do subscribe and come back next month. And join me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, She Bear Tarot. And as always, Sagittarius, I have great faith in you. Your confidence is coming back. Victories will return. Your security is coming back. And money and passion has been handed to you again this month. So embrace it. Go with it. Allow this big, big shift in your consciousness happen. Don't fight it. And you will be very rewarded by the end. Sagittarius, as always, I leave you with all my love, mwah, and a great big kiss for you. See you next month.